Hello, my name is Michael Quinn and welcome back to another episode of Challenge Your Life. In this episode, I'll be talking about some of the dark days leading up to the creation of this 8-Peak Mountain Challenge. I'll also be talking about how I'm feeling now, given that we're into the challenge. I'll also be talking about the next hike that I'll be putting up on video, and also some safety tips and some of the organisations that might help you if you're having a tough time out late. We all can have a bad day. We all do have bad days, and sometimes that bad day can roll into a couple of bad days. But what do you do when those bad days keep rolling and you can't shake the feeling that something's not right? And it can be scary sometimes when you can't figure out what that is. For me, last year was a very, very interesting year. I landed an amazing job in Italy, teaching English, something I love doing. I have a great passion for it. My Italian students, for any of you out there watching, were absolutely fantastic. Really, really enjoyed working with them. But unfortunately, my time in Italy was cut short. I suffered a foot injury and ended up getting a gout inflammation due to that foot injury, which, if any of you have gout, you know exactly what it's like. I was forced to return back to Ireland, which was a massive downer, because life was fantastic at that time. And I think that was the start. I think that was the slide, the end of last year. Christmas came around and it did cheer me up slightly. But I just still couldn't shake whatever it was. I guess I ignored it a bit, to my own silliness, really. And then, of course, New Year came along, and I just kept going through the motions. Got myself on a course to give myself a higher English teaching qualification. Did really well, right up until the last lesson, where I messed it up and probably messed up my final result. Got a pass, but not what I was expecting, which was a kick in the teeth again. And that was another downer. And then after that, there was some quite dark days where I just couldn't. I didn't feel myself. I felt down. As I mentioned before, the abyss in my first video. I suppose the best way I can describe it to you is, just imagine yourself on a slope, and the slope is full of stones and pebbles, and you're lying on your belly trying to scramble up. But every time you get a foothold, the rocks go from under you and you're back down, and each time you slide a bit further down and a bit further down. To get a foothold, it's one of the hardest things to do. Like, people can just say, oh, just get yourself together, all that sort of stuff. It's not that easy. It really isn't. And I've always prided myself on being a fighter, but sometimes there's some hits you get that you're not expecting, and it gets you. But things did turn around. Unfortunately, it was a bit of something that I like to call a false start. I managed to get a job, moved up to the lovely city of Galway, working with an amazing school, Galway Cultural Institute. They were fantastic there to me, absolutely brilliant. The only unfortunate thing was I took a chance. I didn't have that much money. I took a chance moving up to Galway, and unfortunately the way it worked out, I didn't get the hours that I needed to get. I ended up nearly going into debt. Unfortunately I was forced to move back down, and that was another very, very low, it was another massive low. And I was just sitting outside one day, feeling sorry for myself, just not being able to shake, knowing there's something there, feeling horrible, no confidence, my family knew as well. I just wasn't happy. And then it hit me. I don't know what it was, but I just said to myself, sitting outside, I need to challenge myself. Today, I'm more positive, I'm happy to say. It's been a struggle, don't get me wrong, but I'm not too sure what it was, but the moment the idea for the challenge came to my head, it was almost like doors in fact were just open in that simultaneous second of I need a challenge. One thought unlocked so many doors within my head, and I'm a lot more positive. I had a bit of a interesting day today. A couple of feelings of loneliness, which happen, and I'll explain more in another video. But overall, good. I had an interview today, so please cross your fingers that I'll get the job. I'm not going to say who it was for yet, but if I do get the job, I will let you know where I'm working. But also the amount of people that have come up to me and talked to me about their problems, their issues. We're not alone, you know. I don't mean alien wise, UFO wise. I mean like people. We're all interconnected, and that kind of strengthens that argument. There's so many people out there with problems, with issues, and I'm so honoured that those that you have come up to me and talked to me. I'm so honoured that you have disclosed that information to me. So at the moment, I like to think of life as being peaks and troughs, but as long as your peaks and troughs are going up, then it's good. And I'm on that trajectory at the moment, which is good. Okay, Diamond Hill. Now, you're probably wondering, Diamond Hill? Yes, it's not a mountain, but remember, part of the challenge is it's step by step by step. Now, me and Paddy are still in a bit of negotiations whether we will do an extra mountain, given that Diamond Hill isn't actually a mountain. So we will be completing 8 peaks. But as I said, it's all about step by step. Now, Diamond Hill, it's in an incredible location. It's located in Connemara National Park, the entrance to which is Letchfrack. The mountain itself is 442 meters, or 1,450 feet. Stunning views from around the whole park, and you can also see some of the 12 bends, which incidentally, the highest of the 12 bends will be one of our mountains. But of course, more on that in a later episode. So stay tuned. Now, going up there, you get amazing views of the west coast of Ireland. You also get amazing views of Kylemore Abbey and Kylemore Loch. And listen, guys, get out there. It's an amazing place. There's a visitor centre right at the bottom. It has different stages, so get out there, have a look if you get chance, and visit Connemara National Park Visitor Centre and Diamond Hill. The first safety tip that I'm going to give you will be, please wear the appropriate clothing. Whatever hill you're going to climb, whatever hike you're going to do, whatever mountain you're going to climb, you are in the wilderness. Things can happen. Weather can change really quickly, especially if you're in Ireland. There's so many stories, tragic stories of people walking in conditions they shouldn't have been doing, and they didn't have the correct clothing. Make sure you've got appropriate walking shoes that are waterproof. Make sure you have waterproofers, like waterproof jacket, waterproof trousers. Try to keep yourself dry as much as possible. And if you get into trouble, please ring the amazing people at Mountain Rescue straight away. One of the main reasons for doing this is to raise awareness for mental health issues. It's okay to talk about things. Never feel afraid to talk about it. Never feel that it's a weakness to talk about it. In fact, in talking about it, there's a great strength in doing it. Talk to a family member, talk to a friend. But if you don't feel comfortable talking to somebody you know, how about try somebody you don't know? There are some amazing organisations. Now, I normally plug organisations in Ireland, but there are organisations in so many countries willing to help you. Along with Aware, who've already contacted me. The Samaritans got back in contact with me, and Pieta House got in contact with me. Thank you so much for them. I will give you the information for those, and I'll give you the links. Aware, deal with mood disorders. Samaritans, somebody there to listen to if you need. And also Pieta House, who deal with suicide prevention and also counselling for suicide bereavement. So please, if you're in need, look them up, check them out, and get in contact with them. But remember, do not hold it in. Let it out, speak. That pretty much wraps up for this episode. I'd like to thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye. Liked what you just watched? Please hit the like button. Also, don't be afraid to leave us a comment, whether it be critical feedback or something positive. All comments are appreciated. Also, you want to follow us on this journey? Please hit that subscribe button.